Okay, well, it's 4 o'clock, and I'll call the no, that's not December, the January meeting. I was looking at the next page. Monday, January 24th meeting of the Davenport Housing Commission together. First thing we'll do is take roll. Joyce Miller is here.
Here.
Oh, you know how to speak. And you're not afraid to do it either. That's good. And Gary Susich.
Here.
And
Leslie.
Leslie.
Here.
And Yolanda Roberts.
Here.
Great. Well, we have a full house and a quorum, and we've got Amy on deck here to be our second team quarterback today to lead us through things, but she has plenty of experience, so she used to do this all the time for us, but back in a few years back. Anyway, the first thing we'll cover are the minutes from the December 20th meeting. See if anybody has any questions, corrections, or additions that they see. And if not, I'll ask for someone to make a motion to approve those. I guess I just have one question, maybe Destiny would be the person to ask. But those, that voucher thing that we approved for the Violence Against Women Act, are those tracked separately? I didn't know if the different vouchers had, different check marks that they.
Are you talking about that public housing tenant that got the voucher early?
Not necessarily any one particular. I just wondered if different categories of Section 8 people were tracked. Like, well, obviously we know ones that poured in, but like this Violence Act and the veterans.
The veterans are, but I don't know about the VAWA.
Okay.
That would be definitely that's the question I can ask her.
Yeah.
I know that the veterans are tracked.
Right.
I thought she said last month that they were. That's what
Okay.
I thought she said, but I could be wrong.
Well, I hope they're utilized and that people know that there's something available for them. So.
We do contact everyone, and we provide the VAWA information to every participant. All adult
Even if
household
they're,
members.
okay.
So if, let's say it's mom and a dad, and adult child, we would give them 3 of the notices, so they would each be protected. And then
Oh,
they sign
okay.
the acknowledgement that they were
Good.
provided that, and so when people do even port in, we provide that, and then they would get it from their other housing authority as well. So they are aware. They're initially told, but if people do contact us about issues, then we would let them know about the protections available. So all of the participants have been notified that those protections are available.
Good. And I'm assuming other, like community agencies like Family Resources who works with, and there might be others, that one jumps out to me. But they know about that. Yeah, Bruce.
Maybe just clarify too, and Amy, I don't know if this is maybe the right way to phrase it too, but like the VASH vouchers and the FYI vouchers are specific types of vouchers. This is actually just a preference, right? So, yeah.
Right, preference. Sorry if I used the wrong wording there. But.
Oh, no, I just wanted, I was thinking that too. I was like, well, how does that, but they wouldn't be tracked quite the same way as
Right,
an actual.
because I know VASH is a separate category. And.
Right, yeah, that's all.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything? Okay. I'll ask for A motion to approve the minutes from someone.
Motion to approve the minutes?
Great,
Second.
great. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the December 20 meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Those pass. Now we go on to the financial reports for December. And Joyce, I think you emailed in some questions that,
Yeah, I was just wondering why on the public housing and section 8, of course, heritage, you don't have to worry about that anymore.
right.
But public housing, there was such a big increase on the payroll, the utility reimbursements, and the facility maintenance.
I think I have an answer. I talked a little bit with staff. On public housing, I think you had the question for payroll for both public housing and for Section 8. And the November has 2 paydays, if you will, in it, whereas December has 3. And so the payroll expenses are roughly a third higher, depending on how you do the math, I guess. But from finance, from our payroll staff standpoint, the difference for the variance there was just because we actually had an extra payday, if you will, in December. It's every other week, but there's just happened to be the way the weeks fall, the Fridays fall. There were more paydays in December than November. So that's those 2. Let's see, yeah, I know I'm jumping around here. I know you were right on the payment to other agencies with Section 8. That is to landlords, and that variance of whatever it was, 30-some thousand was due to our landlord sign-on bonus with those CARES Act funds. So the fact that we had more, I didn't go into the details of knowing if it was actually, how much of it was sign-on bonus versus how much of it was actual rent reimbursements, but they're tied together. And so I'm sure the difference between the 2 is due to that sign-on bonus program. And
Did anybody ever figure out how many more landlords have signed on then?
Yeah. So we ended up with a total, I think we're rolling at over 50. I think we confirmed it ended up being more than 50. The lion's share of those were admittedly existing landlords who took on more tenants than they had before. So they liked the program and they took advantage of vacant units that they could add to their Section 8 portfolio. But we had, I believe, 10, I think, new to the program landlords who had at least 1 unit apiece. So that's great news. I think in general it was a great use of those CARES Act funds. So.
Is that program over now, that bonus?
It is. Yeah, it was.
I thought it was for a limited time, but I couldn't remember the.
Yeah, CARES Act had a sunset on when you had to spend the money by, so that's why we had to kind of race there at the end. Let's see, I'm sorry, I jumped around. Commissioner Miller, the other category you asked about, I think, or one of them was utility reimbursement. And the best we can determine the difference between November and December on that with public housing was just due to the weather changing. It's usually 30 days or so behind, and I'm guessing it just was reflecting maybe the changeover from October to November or November to December, likely October to November. So, and then I think the other one, what you had was facilities maintenance, which again was on public housing, and the difference there was I apologize, I didn't get in to find out the exact unit or units involved, but like a lot of things, some months we have more repairs due and more equipment to buy to make those repairs than other months. So it just, apparently our payouts in December we had more.
So there was no major repair that you know of then?
No, not that we know of. I think we had 1 unit maybe that had had a tenant request for, I'm thinking, wasn't that, Amy, about the time that we had someone move from one unit to another unit? But it wasn't an emergency calamity type thing. It was just that we had more repairs in 1 month than the others, so. But I think, give a minute there, if I don't know if that answered all your questions, but I think that was what we ended up with, a quick down and dirty on it.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions on the financial reports? If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve those.
I move that the financials for December be approved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, great. It's been moved and seconded to approve the financial report for December. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Those passed. Now, I guess the occupancy report. I think I remember Destiny saying that unit or 2 units out there on Elsie needs some work, and they're having a hard time getting a contractor, so I'm pretty sure that's the one she mentioned that last month. Bruce, any updates on the timeline for the sale of the public housing?
No definitive updates on the timeline, but I can report as good news anyway that I had more interaction with HUD staff earlier this month, so I took it as a good sign. They're looking at things again. So, but yeah, I wish we had a little bit more. The person who is from HUD who's reviewing it's now with what they call their special activities or special applications center, I guess, the SAC or SAC, and SAC has said that they started looking at it this summer, if you recall, when we had to electronically submit, and it was a September, October time period that I received some questions. So we were able to answer some of their questions about the application then, and then it kind of went silent, and I thought maybe that was rolling towards an approval, but more questions came here in January that we were able to answer, but yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a timetable yet, so I'll keep you in the loop as we go.
Well, they're probably happy down there in Kansas City today after that overtime football went last night. So I think that's where they're based, aren't they?
Actually,
section.
I think the reviewer, I don't know, SAC I think is located elsewhere, but I think the reviewer is in Chicago.
Oh.
At least she mentioned that in one of our conversations. So she may not be as happy. I don't know.
Okay. Well, at least football-wise, nothing to cheer for this year.
Yes,
It's been a while. But that's another thing. I just knew that there was a big office down in Kansas City. I didn't know those other people were free agents traveling around, so.
Yeah,
But you
quite the
deal
game.
with them, so. Okay, if there's no other questions on that, I'll ask for a motion to approve the occupancy report for January.
I make a motion to approve the occupancy report for December.
Second.
Great. It's been moved and seconded to approve the occupancy report for December. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Anything under discussion? I guess I asked my questions as we went through, so I wouldn't forget to ask, but.
Well, Bruce, I had on this utilization report, looking at that with the difference in the numbers in the bedroom size, I presume that probably has something to do with the new landlords and people dropping out or changing places, whatever?
You definitely, and Amy, I know you lives this day to day too, and can probably even speak better to it. But yeah, in general, as most of the commission's probably aware, we have ups and downs, so it's sort of the net. We have some people that will go off the program, and other ones come on, and, but in general, we have been trying to increase that. And so really, if you look at November and December, it does reflect, as of, I guess it would have been in October, we were at 647. By November, we were at 655, and by December, we were at 662. So we are trending in the right direction. But it does, for those of you that are newer too, the figures below that, the 326, 391, and that's sort of, if you will, the budget and on a monthly basis. And so it's always a little bit of a game to be able to figure out. We still have room to go, but you can see where when you get to a point that we will cap out at how many vouchers we can have the money to spend. So at some point we could hit that budget amount, but we're still in the period where we want that trend to keep going up because we've got the budget there for it. So we'll see. It's just taking, Amy can probably speak to it, it's taking longer for folks to find units, and and maybe it's cold out, so it's, people are less apt to want to get out and look around at properties and those sorts of things too. There may be lots of factors going on, but we're getting there. We're better progress the last 2 months. So.
There's no good time to move, but especially when everything's frozen. Anybody else have anything they'd? Okay, I know next month we have a holiday again, the third Monday, which President's Day. And so I think we already scheduled it for the 28th, which is the last day of February. So if not, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn our meeting.
Make a motion that we adjourn.
I second.
Great. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody, for attending. It's nice to have a full house. And Bruce, thanks for coming downstairs. And Amy for filling in like the old days.
Except my